Okay, hello everybody. Hi Kathleen. Hi Donna. Hi Jan. Hi Laura.
Hi,
Um,
Jeannie.
Jan says, "So happy I was on my tablet. Message popped up saying you guys were coming on. Okay, glad you were able to make it. Hi Jeannie. Light snow squalls, Laura says in Guelph this afternoon. Yeah, we were just
Yeah,
talking about that before we went live on the air. That
it was -6. Now it just says -5. But that's about 21 degrees Fahrenheit for those that are in Fahrenheit, which is still kind of cold for this time of year. I think.
I'm trying to get
I'm
the camera
expecting
here.
spring weather.
Yeah, well, we're all expecting spring weather, but not yet. We only have two seasons in this country, anyways, winter and construction. So, but anyways, glad everybody's here. Hi, Em. Hi, Marlene. Hi, Patsy. Yeah, Patsy, I imagine at a lazy day in Mississippi, it's probably very nice there weather wise. Hi, Wendy. So just give everybody a few minutes to get in before we get started. We've got a real mishmash of things today to talk about, to share with you. A mishmash. Well, you didn't like the way I said pot puree.
Potpourri.
Po.
Potpourri. Isn't that stuff you spray in the toilet?
That's poopery.
Oh,
That's called poopery. That stuff. Hi, Suzanne. Good. I'm glad you can see us and hear us both. That's good to know. Hi, Glenna. So hope everybody's doing good today. I just came off of one thing I'm going to talk about in a few minutes for the day. Today was a very productive day. Actually, I've had a very productive weekend. A lot of things I got done. You probably not so.
I got some things.
Well, we'll talk. Well, why don't we jump right into it? What a lovely segue. Let's talk about what Walter's been working on. What are you working on?
Costumes.
Yes. What have you gotten finished?
Well, I've got the tops and the bottoms done, and I'm working on the masks right now.
Okay, so we've just about got the costumes all together, and I had thought earlier in the day that we might put them on, take a picture, and show you what they look like, but we're going to keep you in suspense because they're not absolutely completely finished yet. We still have to accessorize and try them on and everything like that, but I think they're coming along quite nice. Now, we did have a question. Someone asked during the week wrote in one of the comment sections of Stephen and Walter Live, excuse me, a little gassy here, how Walter made the skirt. So do you want to explain how you made the skirt?
I just looked up. Actually, I was looking at trying to look up different patterns and stuff like that for making one, and I didn't find anything I liked, and I just thought, well, I'll go onto YouTube and do a search, and I did a search on skirts, and then they came up with circle skirts. So I started watching a video on that, and I thought, oh, this looks pretty easy. So there's a number of YouTube videos, different people showing you how to do a circle skirt. And the one that I chose just had used a big elastic for the waistband. So there's other ones that will show you different ways to do the waistband, but they're all basically the same. You just basically cut a circle of fabric out, and
but you have 4 panels.
well, actually, what it is the one that I watched, or most of them will show you how to make the quarter panel or the quarter of a pattern, and you just get your fabric and fold it into 4, so it's in one piece, right? And then you cut that template out, and you end up with a whole circle. So
of course you saw pictures of them. Yes.
yeah, Christmas tree skirt with plastic bit.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's kind of. But one thing that's really nice about these skirts that Walter made is, and I think it's because of the fabric. I mean, we made the fabric up from scraps of quilting cotton, as you know, you've seen them, and just sewn together. But they hang really nice. They're like they've got pleats almost. So
Yeah.
they're very full. And we have crinolines that'll go underneath them. And Patsy, I think, asked, where did we find the crinolines? So we got about 9, didn't we?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think I bought them from like a Halloween costume store.
Oh, you didn't buy them from Amazon?
No, I did.
I
I
thought you
bought
got
them
them
from
from
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not particularly well constructed.
No, you got to be a little careful with them.
But but for a costume, I mean, it's not like something we're going to be wearing every day.
Well, no, I don't think so. No, Laura says can't wait to see the complete costumes. Well, we will take pictures of it, and we will be showing them to you maybe next week with that. But I say maybe because we've got some other things to talk about too, so I don't want to jump ahead here too far. But yeah, and then Walter made the tops, and he's got the top done. Now, how did you make the tops?
All I did was I was trying to make it just a simple top because it's just a costume. And so I took a t-shirt pattern and I used it as a base. Instead of using stretchy material, I used quilting cotton. But I used a larger size so that they would be oversized. So
Because we're full-figured girls.
yeah, so they fit pretty good. I didn't really care about exactly how the neck turned out. If it was an everyday shirt, I wouldn't be happy with the way the neck came out. But for a costume, it doesn't really matter. So
Well, also we'll be wearing neck scarves, kind of a thing around it, and like there'll be lots of accessories, so it'll kind of like hide that kind of
like
thing. It looks fine.
It looks
doesn't
fine.
look
It works. It'll work for costumes.
Hi,
so.
Barb. Yeah, so it'll work fine. So yeah, it's all coming together, and it will. I am sure the ladies at the retreat will just be screaming their heads off at it all. They'll all want their pictures taken with us, of course, too, and that's all fine. We're all there for the entertainment.
Hi, Barb. Hi, Pinky from
Is it
Tucson.
Pinky? How do you get Pinky out of that? It's Pugy from Pinky. Hi from Pinky.
Oh, Pinky.
Oh, Pinky.
No, it says hi from Pinky,
Oh.
Tucson.
Oh,
Pinky
okay.
is the place.
Oh, is this Pinky Nutter? Because if so, hi Pinky.
No. She's from Pinky, Tucson. She lives in a place called Pinky.
Wait, Tucson is a place in Arizona. Pinky is not. There's no Pinky Tucson.
Okay, I don't know.
Well, it's Tucson, Arizona is where she's
Okay,
from.
yeah, all right. Okay, it must be Pinky. Okay, I don't know. I'm reading it. I'm reading it wrong.
Correct us here, Pinky, will you? We need your help, Pinky. Tell us what it is. But anyways, yeah, well, if this is Pinky Nutter, I featured some of her wonderful artistic creations on an Idiot Quilter a few weeks ago. Absolutely gorgeous. And I think I put in a link in the show notes of that show too, as well, to her website where you can see even more of her very, very fantastic creations. And if this is the Pinky, and I think it is, you need to check it out. You really do. So anyways, oh, hi, Judy. Did we say hi to Judy?
I can't remember.
Hi, everybody, if we've missed anybody. Okay. So anyways, yeah, so the costumes are pretty much together, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the upcoming retreat because we still have some preparation. Hi, Marcia. No, she's not from Pinky. Her name is Pinky, and Pinky's from Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, okay.
I was right. I knew it. Nah.
Okay, fine.
Like
Mr. Magoo has it wrong again.
Well, you don't hear that often at all. Okay, so have you been working? So what do you? Oh wait, we'll come to that later. So that's all you've been working on. And he's making masks right now too for us. Hi, Eddie.
Yeah, because we have beards, and we thought, well, okay, it was middle of the pandemic, so we'd end up having to wear masks anyway.
Well, we have to wear masks anyways,
yeah, so I'm making these pink masks that have lips on them.
Yeah, it looks hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But as I said, you'll see pictures of it. Eddie says he's late. There's no excuse, Eddie. I am sorry. I have told you this before. If you're late, we hate you. I just finished my first quilt. Eddie, you've got to send me a picture of your quilt so I can feature it on an Idiot Quilter episode as well. Marcia said no fighting. It's not fighting.
No.
Fighting would be, well, he'd be dead by now. So it is no fighting. We're just
badgering each other.
Yeah, badgers. Okay, so that's all you've been working on, right? Well, I've been working on a few things, and I have some pictures as well. So, you know, of course, Easter's coming up quick, actually. And I've got my sister and her husband and her 2 kids, my nephew, niece, and that are all coming here. Now I'm looking for it every time I do this. So I'm making some things for the dinner table, and one of them, and I'm really happy with the way this turned out. And let me switch the camera so you can see it. And there we are. This is an Easter table runner, and this is what they call an in-the-hoop applique. And I think you've heard me talk and have seen some examples before of in-the-hoop applique. I love doing in-the-hoop applique. I'm not as big a fan of doing regular applique, but in-the-hoop is pretty good. And this turned out, I'm really pleased with the way this turned out. Now, the one thing, though, that this pattern had, this was one from, I think it was Juju Designs, which I've never bought anything from them before. But I'll have to say I will buy more from them in the future because their instructions are absolutely excellent for putting things together. And this kind of thing, when you're putting it together, can get very confusing. Especially if you've never done one before. I have, so, but even with that, I read an instruction wrong. There were some pieces on here, because this is all made up of pieces, and then you sew it together on your sewing machine. But when you cut it down out of the hoop, most of the things needed to be cut with a 1/2 inch overhang from the stitching line. But there were a couple of pieces that needed a 1 inch, and I just assumed everything was 1/2 inch, and I didn't think about it. And so it could have given me some grief, but I was able to fudge it, and you really don't know. You can't see it. And Walter won't be able to spot it either. He's looking. He's studying it very closely. He's trying to see. Actually, it wasn't that big of a problem, whether it was 1/2 inch or 1 inch. It just would have made a couple of things easier to match up. Can you find it? No, you can't.
Is the top row skinnier or fatter than the bottom row?
Nope. That's not where it is. No, it was on the end pieces of these pieces up in here. These were supposed to be 1 inch, not a 1/2 inch. And so I had to kind of fudge it around to get things to line up properly on here. But I did, and that's okay. But I'm really happy with the way it turned out. The only thing was, this was a little bit too religious for me. I mean, the cross, well, okay. I don't mind the doves. I don't mind the lilies. That's fine. But they had written, "He is risen" in some of these, and "Savior" across the bottom. And I decided across here and here on the top and bottom of the cross, this was supposed to say "Savior." I took one of the other designs that was already in the pattern and replaced that. Now, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I'm not anti-Christian. In fact, I was raised in what most people would consider a Christian family. But years ago, I left the church, and I now refer to myself as a born-again agnostic. I have nothing against spirituality or anything like that. That is all fine. I have nothing against religions. What I have against organized religion is if you try to push it down my throat or somebody else's throat. I mean, you believe what you believe, and that's fine by me. And as long as it isn't, affecting somebody else's life in a negative way, then, that is fine. If it brings you peace, if it brings you solace or whatever, then that's great. But I did not want those words on this table runner because, well, it would be hypocritical as far as I'm concerned for me to do that when I am not a Christian. So, yeah. But anyways, I digress, and I don't want to get anything political about any of that kind of thing. So I've done that, and I had to make some table decorations. Well, didn't have to. I wanted to. So 3D printer to my rescue. Here's my little collection. My big bunny just finished today, and I want to make another one of these bunnies. And these are little bunnies with cups. I'm going to fill those with those candied Easter eggs, the little ones. And they'll sit at each person's table setting. And I'm going to use the big bunny and this rabbit, and I'm going to make another one of him. And they'll sit in the center of the table, and they'll be filled with little Easter eggs as well. And then I have, along in amongst them all these little fancy Easter eggs here. I think they're really cute. They take a while to make. That's why I started early. I've been making Easter things for like a week and a half. But anyways, they'll just be fun. And the idea is that everybody gets to take home one of their little bunnies with their little candies in them as well. I like to do that kind of thing when I have a dinner party or whatever. What else? Oh, I've been working on these blocks. Now, I've planned out what I want to do at the retreat, and I have kits that I've put together. These were not part of that plan, but now I'm thinking they are part of that plan. I was looking through, actually, remember that really nice fabric box of fat quarters that Walter got me at Christmas time they showed? Well, I have yet to find a pattern worthy of using them. And then I got thinking, I had seen not this pattern, but it was one similar to this that I drew from. But at first I thought, well, I would use those fat quarters to do that. But then I got thinking, well, wait, this pattern is all 5-inch squares. And it's just half square triangles. So I have all these charm packs that are still wrapped up. I should be using those and save that fabric for some other kind of more elaborate pattern. So I started to design this. And so I've got two rows worth of blocks. These blocks are about 15.5 inches each. So they're a large block. And I thought, well, it might be boring just to make a sawtooth star right here through the whole thing. So it's all half square triangles, so you can move them in other ways. So I made windmills as well. So I have two different patterns, and I have enough of the charm packs. I don't know why I bought so many of the same type of one, but I did. They must have been on sale or something, or I had another plan. And so yeah, I'm flying along through this, and I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm going to do more things with it. I don't know how the borders are going to look. I might put sashing, I might not put sashing. I laid them out on the floor, 2 rows worth. That's what I've got done so far. Laid them out on the floor to take a look at them, and they look good. But I might do a different configuration. I don't know yet. So I think I'm going to take this. I'm going to take one kit I'm not going to take with me. I'll use this instead in the kit. Because I enjoy making half square triangles for some reason. I don't know why. So I've been working on that. And nope, not ready for that one yet. Let's go back here to us. Let's find us. Webcam. There we are. We're back. So before we move on here, let's just see what people are saying. Gotta scroll up a little bit. I got an ooh, and so pretty and very nice. Beautiful runner from Janet Fraser. Hi, Janet. Kathy Patterson's here. Hi, Kathy. Your table runner's lovely. Thank you, Patty. Jan says, wow, this is gorgeous. Beautiful. Okay, I'm just basking in all of this glory, okay? Like, I mean, I never get my ego stroked by anybody else in the room in here. He just looks for mistakes and then criticizes me.
I said it looked nice.
Oh, yeah, well, it's like when I cook and you go, that's fine, which means don't ever do that again. Yeah. Sly. Hi, Sly. She loves Juju embroidery design. Just finished a crochet tote bag. Yeah, they've got some really neat stuff on there. Barb's here. Hi, Barb. Those eggs are so cute. Easter eggs are cute. Bunny cups are so intricate. Yep, but that's what you can do with a 3D printer. Marcia, I think, am I saying it right? Marcia? Question, should I wash my fabrics that I get at yard sales? I'm concerned of what dirt these pieces have picked up. I know all pieces should be either washed or not washed when used in a project. Well, first of all, washing fabric for a quilt is a personal choice. I personally do not pre-wash my fabrics with them. And with today's modern fabrics, when you buy them new, most of them do not shrink very much at all. And if they do shrink, if you have them all in the quilt and then wash your quilt after you're done making it, and I do that now. I didn't used to, because I was always afraid, will my seams come apart? But now I'm pretty confident with that. And, you know, worried about color running, you don't have to worry about that so much anymore. And if you are, buy some color catchers. They work like a charm. And everything will shrink pretty much. If it's the same type of quilting cotton, which basically is any quilting cotton you buy in a quilt store, it'll all shrink at the same time, pretty much. But having said that, and then there's other people who wash it all in advance and then they press it. And I just figure that's a lot of steps you don't need to go through. But if you're buying it where you have, I'd wash it. I mean, just, you know,
Yeah, you
I
don't
would
know
just
where
wash
it's
it.
been. Could have if it's coming from a household that there's smokers in it or something like that. It may smell, unless you're a smoker and you.
Yeah, or it could be dusty. You don't know where
Yeah.
they've stored it. And there is a possibility too, it might be rare depending on the climate that it's been kept on. There could be bugs, you know, they like moths or something like that in it. So I would think, for me, I would wash it. I would definitely wash it for that. Laura says, is that special filament? The bunnies look so shiny. Yes, it is special filament. That one was called Purple Sparkle. There are two brands of filament that I buy. One is called, and I'm never sure how to say this, it's Eryone, Erie one or Irion. I'm not sure how you say it, but that filament I've had a lot of good luck with usually in my machines. And I have Corelity Ender 3s, version 2s, for those of you that are into 3D printing. And that works really well. And there's a company here in Canada, out in BC, that I really love their filament. It's very high quality, and it's not bad price-wise. It's about the same as the Erie one, around $30 a kilogram roll. And it works really well too, but you have to print it at a higher temperature as well. But I do have some filaments in my cupboard that were not necessarily cheaper in price, but they were companies I had never dealt with before, and I hate them. They are horrible filaments. So, yeah, but this particular one's by Irion, and it was called Purple Sparkle. And so it's got a bit of a shine to it. So, yeah, I really like that. Thank you, Jeannie. Marsha. Okay. Marsha.
Yeah, I would think that, you know, anywhere you get, if you don't personally buy something right from a store that you're familiar with, I would wash it.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
I mean, I know a lot of people will buy old quilts that show up in like a charity store and things like that. Personally, I have never bothered to make a point of looking for ones like that. And I've thought about it, but there's something about it that just seems grubby to me. Like, okay, maybe I'm a snob, but I don't buy clothes in a charity shop either. I mean, I know a lot of people do, and they do it because they can get vintage stuff, and a lot of people claim you'll get really good stuff at, you know, designer clothing, a fraction of the price that's in really great shape. But there's something about it. And if I buy anything in one of those kind of stores, and I don't often, if it was like something like glassware or something like that, I would definitely be putting it in my dishwasher. Now, you can't put a quilt in your dishwasher. Or can you? No, no, you can't. But yeah, I would be a little leery about it.
Hi,
Brenda says, hi, Brenda. First time to watch you live from Nova Scotia, Canada, but live in Montana now. Oh, okay.
Live in Montana.
Oh, but live in Montana. Okay, fine. Yeah, Mr. Pinky. So welcome, Brenda. And Jen says, I wash a lot of my fabric. It's amazing how many fibers come out of fabric. For those with asthma. Oh, yeah, I've had a number of beautiful red fabrics that have bled. Oh, yeah, 2 colors. Actually, there's 3 colors you got to watch for bleeding. Red is infamous for doing it. Black, of course, and sometimes some dark blues. And I have found that if I usually throw in 2 color catchers, you know, Shout has color catchers, and there's another one that I was buying.
Dr.
Beckman.
Dr. Beckman.
Dr. Beckman. I throw those in with the quilts, and I wash my quilts in cold for the first washing, and I do it on an express wash, so it instead of a full wash, because I mean, really, they're not dirty, but you know, it just softens them a little bit, gets the sizing out of the cotton, and also it fluffs up your quilting a little bit more. if you like that look. And I do, because it makes them look nice and comfy and cozy kind of a thing. And I have not had any bleeding problems, knock wood, yet. Although I did buy some really black fabric once, and at the store they recommend it.
Yeah, it was a black fabric with a really bright pattern on it, and the store warned us and recommended that we wash that several times to get the color out of it.
Yeah. In fact, I washed it, I think, 3 times. And still, but it was okay in the end. I used it as backing, actually.
Brenda says purple bleeds bad sometimes.
Oh, that could be too as well. Like I said, I've not had any problem with bleeding, but I think too is the trick here is to buy brand name fabric. You know, if you buy Northcott or Kona or Moda or, you know, Tula Pink or, you know, K Facet, those kind of things, I think you're pretty safe with those in terms of like no bleeding. But if you buy something, and where you buy it too, I think if you're buying fabric from a big box store, which apparently in the States is something big, I have never seen fabric in Costco when you talk about, or big box stores here in Canada.
They don't seem to sell that.
At least in our area.
In our area, no.
And I might be a little leery about buying fabric at Walmart as well. Now, again, our Walmarts here do not sell much fabric at all.
Yeah, they just sell some fat quarters, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Or they do sell, I've noticed they've got some fabrics like pre-cut fabric that's sort of like 3 yards or something like that. Yeah, they call them sort of like baby quilt backs or whatever, or something like that.
And to be honest, I have never bought any of that fabric. I have bought some of the fat quarters that they've had at our local Walmart. They don't have much of a choice of them, and they're
not usually very good quality.
No. So yeah, I'd be careful about that. Eddie says you're going to get a preview of the girls' completed costumes before the retreat. Nope. Sorry, Eddie. Nope. No spoiler.
We'll have lots of pictures afterwards.
So. Yeah, we'll do a whole show about the retreat, and we'll have video and pictures. At least that's what I'm planning right now.
Yeah, Patsy, we don't have Joanne Fabrics or Hobby Lobby. We have a place called
Michael's
Fabricland,
and we have Michael's.
But Fabricland, we call it the App Store. So,
and yes, it's the word you're thinking of.
And they tend to they have quilting cotton, but they do have a lot of apparel fabric, but they're very overpriced.
Overpriced.
They sell you a coupon card where they will give you can take advantage. They give you discounts on notions with the card, and some fabrics if they have them on sale. You only get that sale price if you have the card type of thing.
Yeah.
But it tends to be fairly expensive, so I tend not to go there. And some of their stuff is not as good quality as what you get in a quilting store for a much higher price.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't really have big box stores. Just Costco really is all I can think of. Well, and Home Depot, I suppose, and that, but they don't sell fabric. So
yeah, we don't have any fabric chain fabric stores like Joann's or something like that.
No,
or Hobby Lobby or anything.
No. So anyways, yeah. What's that? Marcia says, I can see who is the detailed person. Me too. High five,
I guess
Walter.
you could. There's that other store. Now I can't remember the name of it. That's in Lens Mills.
Oh, Lens. Oh, but that's. Yeah, there's sort of this store in the Toronto area. There's a couple of outlets around, and they're called Lens Mills, and you walk in the store and
it smells.
It smells. It's grubby looking. I think it's got a lot of stuff that's been liquidated, or they've picked it up on liquidation sales, but they have all kinds of fabric, and it's all ugly, dirty looking, not a bargain to buy.
No, it tends to be it's overpriced. Their interfacings are really expensive compared to what the quilting stores charge for them. I think they have some sales at once in a while that you might be able to
Yeah.
get it. Here we have a Lens Mill store. First
Yeah.
time watching.
Have a love. I have a love.
I don't know. I've never had any luck in the Lens Mill stores. I find
Nope.
their interfacing very expensive, and they don't seem to carry. They do have some major lines of fabric like Northcott and that, but they're usually pretty premium priced there. So
Yeah, and I don't know, just the whole store is grubby inside. I just don't like it at all. So Have a Love says it's her first time watching from on. Do you mean, are you from Ontario, Have a Love?
yeah, well, they have a Lens Mill
Oh,
store.
well, so it could be. Yeah, but is Lynn Mills other places in Canada?
No, yeah,
No?
but I don't think it's in the United States.
No, I know. But she
Uh,
could be from the Maritimes. I don't know. Did they have,
I don't know.
Whatever. Okay. Brenda says, I owned a fabric store in Nova Scotia for years, sold top of the line fabric and a midline because some people just couldn't afford expensive fabric. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind paying a decent amount of money for fabric if it's good quality,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the fabric line that we have here has poor quality fabric at top dollar.
Yeah, it's horrible stuff. And Barb says, Fabric Land sells fabric for $26, $28 per meter in Calgary.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's the same out here, too.
yeah, and some of it is not necessarily the top quality stuff.
No.
So
Oh, Wasaga Beach.
Yeah.
Okay. Yay. Well, glad you're here. So anyways, yeah, how did we get onto that? Okay, what else did I do today? Okay, so before we went on air, I had been online with a Zoom with a bunch of guys. It's a Facebook group that I belong to called Men Quilters. And they're really out of the United States. I think I was the only Canadian on there today. Wasn't a lot of us. There was only about maybe 8 of us or so on there, but it was just, sort of a casual thing. So, and they're trying to run this now, make it more regular. They were talking about running it twice a month, 2 Sundays every month. And it was a lot of fun. But ladies, it's for men only. Maybe that's why it was a lot of fun. I don't know. I saw some beautiful creations of some of these guys, what they make. Well, one guy was showing us some of his quilts, and he's been doing it for quite a long time. And he's won prizes in major shows before too. And he's had his quilts that he's put into shows and that he's had them appraised $4,000 to $6,000 for a quilt. Like, wow. In fact, I felt a little intimidated amongst this group because there was more than one person in there that had like, oh my God, look at that. And these were original designs. They had designed their own quilts and they were very intricate and the whole bit. So yeah, but it was fun. I said to Walter, he could have joined in, but he didn't because he was busy doing other things. I don't know what. But
I just wasn't in the mood today. So
well, they were fun to listen to. Though
yeah,
there was a
I'll
couple of
join
guys on
another
there
time.
that were really hilarious with it all. But that was kind of fun. I like that. So, what else has been up this week? Well, I've been spending money, haven't I? So, I told you last week that I got my inheritance, and so I was buying all that Mac equipment, right? Well, I haven't got it all yet, but I've got all the accessories that I ordered. They all came, but the main event, the new Mac computer and the new iPad have not yet arrived. But Walter got his new iPad, and you're loving it, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And I ordered the Mac, the Apple Pencil for it. Is that what they call it? The Apple Pencil? Yeah, the Apple Pencil with it. And
I hadn't ordered it.
he hadn't ordered it yet, so he was playing with mine, so he ordered one now too. And we've been watching some videos about what you can do with the new iPads and things like that. And holy crap. I mean, I have 2 iPads already. I have my original one, which I hardly ever use. Then I have my main one, which is sitting over off here to the side with me right now so we can see what you see. and everything. And I mean, I love my iPad. In fact, it's what I use to do all my videos on, as far as compiling them and doing the little bit of editing that I do, because you know I'm not a big editor. And maybe I should be, but I'm not. There are those who say you really should consider it, but I don't. I have, that eats into my quilting time. But anyways, and I love that. So I bought the 11-inch new one, and we've been watching videos. And oh my God, people can use these almost like a computer with them, because you can get a separate keyboard for them as well, and all kinds of other things. And I mean, they're not cheap. I mean, let's face it, these are expensive little toys. I think the one that I bought, it was costing me over $1,300 for it, because I got a lot of memory in it too, because I wanted it. And yours is a bigger one. What did yours run?
12.9. Mine was $1,700.
Yeah, so I mean, these are not cheap. They're the price of a PC. I didn't pay that much for the computer we're using right now at the time, but you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. And I'm looking forward to getting my Mac stuff. But they did say that they're not going to be shipped out, those two items, until sometime in the middle of April or so. So it could be even into the first week of May before I get that. But did I order other things?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did. So I've been debating whether or not I would really get the use out of an AccuQuilt. An AccuQuilt is a die cutting machine that cuts through fabric, and people use it for applique, but you can also get dies that'll cut strips, squares, make half square triangles, just about everything that you normally would have to cut with a ruler and a rotary blade. And I've watched videos about them and things like that, and I've hemmed and hawed over whether or not I really get the use out of it. But the one thing that I really like about them is cutting long strips of fabric, because you get them accurate, you know, when you cut. Because when you're cutting long strips, like ones you're using for binding or you're using for borders, it's not hard to get them a little crooked, no matter what you're using as a cutting system. And that. So a quilt store that's not north of us, about 45 minutes away or 40 minutes away or 30, I don't know. We've been there before.
30 minutes away.
30 minutes away. It's where I buy my batting, actually, because I buy my batting on a roll, and they have a really good price. They have AccuCuts, and they're having a sale. So we got looking at it. First of all, I wanted to go to the store yesterday, and because I know they have them in the store, and I would just say, yeah, wrap it, take it, whatever. But then Walter looked them up online and found out they closed at 1 o'clock on a Saturday.
They're open from 10 till 1.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's really convenient.
Really convenient hours, you know? So, anyways, I went online and I ordered everything that I want, and we'll pick it up. I could have it shipped. Actually, it was free shipping because of the amount that I spent. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I bought the machine, and I bought the electric one. And if you're familiar with AccuQuilts or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. And I bought the essential dies and some bundles and things like that. Most of it was all on sale. And I did buy a gnome die.
Well, it was on sale. According to their website, it said the sale ended on March 25th.
Which was Friday.
But they still had the sale prices up. So
I went ahead and ordered
of it. Actually, I looked today and they still have the sale price.
Yeah, so you know, so they got to give it to me at the sales price. They took my credit card, they went through the charge and the whole bit. So whatever, and I know they will, because I've dealt with them before and they're very good. So no complaints there. But anyways, yeah, I'm hoping we'll be able to pick it up on Tuesday, because we have some other appointments on Tuesday. So kill a lot of time.
Steve is not foreign to die cutting machines.
Well, no.
You've had used to do crafting and do lots of die cutting.
Yeah, I've had many die cutting machines.
Just fabric.
Yeah. Now, some of you might say, well, why couldn't you use one of your die cutting machines with their dies? You can't, because the dies are too big for the die cutting machines that I have for the most part. So no. And this is what this is designed for. And this is electric. My die cutting machines, although I did have one that was electric at one point, but it eventually blew out. It was the Tim Holtz one, the Vagabond. If any of you are crafters, you might know what I'm talking about from that. No, I don't want to crank it. I want to plug it in, push a button, and it does it for me. I'm all about laziness when it comes to stuff. So, yeah, $1,600 later, wow, I'm making my inheritance money. I'm using it well, okay, for this. So, another new toy to get. Can't wait. All excited about that. So, what are people saying? Jeannie says, oh, you just got one, Jeannie?
Jeannie said, would some of those guys want to have an interview on your channel?
Oh, just a second. Well, let me back up here because
we got the fabric store.
Yeah, we got that. I'm missing stuff here. I got that.
Beach.
Oh, Jeannie says, would some of those guys be willing to do interviews? Oh, you mean the ones that I was with today? That's a good point. I hadn't really thought of that. I might, the one guy that was really showing, the one that was the award winner in that, I'll have to approach him, if I remember his name. Next time that I go on with them, maybe I'll bring that up to them. Now, I will say one thing. They're a little bit stuck on themselves. You know, I would like to say, and I know this is going to ruffle some female feathers here, but I usually find women to be a little bit bitchy and competitive about these things. You know, I'd like to think that men aren't, but men are too. So, yeah. Now, they weren't bitchy or anything, but actually, they probably would do an interview because they were kind of a little bit, no one asked them to show their quilts. They just immediately went in and they're showing them with the whole thing. So, yeah, but they were beautiful. They were absolutely, I felt completely intimidated by it. I don't know if I'll ever get to that level. But then again, my philosophy about doing quilts is it's something I enjoy doing. If you start to add in the show, and I've talked about this before, you start putting in the competition element and that kind of thing, it stops being fun, I think. And yeah, I just do what I do and move on from it. But yeah, it's a good idea though, Jeannie. I'll definitely try it. So Jeannie, how do you like your AccuQuilt? Do tell us. Susan says, hi, just watched your interview with Kate Jackson. Hi, Susan. Really enjoyed it. Didn't know your channel existed until today. Looking forward to learning about your content. Okay, well, thank you, Susan. You're not alone. I have to say that since I did the interview with Kate, the popularity of my channel has gone out of the roof. I mean, I did a little statistic today. Kate's video, the one I did with the interview, which was only 2 weeks ago that I put it up, 19,201 views as of an hour ago today. 19,000. I thought I was doing well when I got like 100 views on one of my videos. And because of that, there's been a spin-off. A whole bunch of people have discovered me, and my users, my subscribers have gone from, in the last 2 weeks, from under 5,000, well, like about 4,700 to almost 6,000 subscribers. Well, I think I was at 58. What am I at to? 5744 an hour ago. 5,744 subscribers. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, I did not put up that interview because I had these kind of thoughts of thinking, oh yeah, I'll just dovetail on, you know, the coattails of Kate and get all this kind of stuff. I mean, I know Kate is popular, but you know how I got her. It was thanks to Eddie, and Eddie's on here. Eddie suggested to me that I get Kate to speak at my retreat, and I did. I didn't think she would go for it. I just figured nothing, but she did. She is such a wonderful person, and any of you who watched the last Homely House know that. And I asked her if it would be okay if I recorded the interview I was doing with her at the retreat and put it up on my channel. She says, sure, she had no problem with that. And I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled that more people have found me on here, and I hope you're enjoying the content when you see it as well. So yeah, thank you for those of you that are new and have, are coming to this, and do check out the other things we put up. We have So Chatty, where basically Walter and I talk about all kinds of things about sewing. I mean, Stephen and Walter Live is other things too, although lately we've been talking a lot about sewing on here. Um, but
I mean, you kind of started this whole channel as a crafting
yeah,
thing when you first were doing crafting, and you have transitioned now into sewing and sewing quilts mostly.
yeah. Well, I'm not a new kid on the block to YouTube. I started my YouTube channel 10 years ago, just after I retired, and it was basically I was just showing what I was making, doing sort of little mini tutorials about paper crafting and scrapbooking, because that's what I was at one time. And then I discovered quilting, and well, you know the story, right? I've gotten into that full time, and so I started a vlog after I did the crafting thing. And my very first vlogs, if you want to joke, go watch some of those. They ran about 7 or 8 minutes, just me rattling on. Well, some of you would say you still do, it's just in a longer format. And then I started the Idiot Quilter. And then, and we started Stephen and Walter Live. And that was an idea I had when we've been doing Stephen and Walter Live for now
Quite a few.
about 5-6 years, something like that. We started in our kitchen.
I didn't want to do it at first.
No, he didn't. I twisted his arm. And so we did that from the kitchen, and we used the iPhone for that. And now we're still not using really sophisticated equipment, but better equipment for that kind of thing. And then we started So Chatty, because Walter got into garment sewing, and I thought, well, it'd be interesting to have the two worlds. And I kind of got that idea from the two guys that do the Fiber Hustle. And Fiber Hustle, one is a knitter and one's a quilter, and they don't have as many of those as often. They used to do them like it seemed like once a week. Or now they're a little bit far and fewer between.
That one guy got sick, so.
Oh yeah, the one guy got sick. He got COVID and stuff, so they had to go off from that. But if you're not seeing the Fiber Hustle, and if you're a knitter and a quilter, you probably like it. It's a little bit heavier on the knitting side than it is on the quilting side.
Yeah, and that's why, as Susan said, Chip started his own channel, so and it's all quilting. So
yeah, and I watched that, and yes, and that is one reason why I decided to buy an AccuQuilt as well, because he uses it a lot and shows that, and I got jealous. I thought, well, crap on you, Chip. I want one of those too. And I'm being actually quite serious about that. It was really him who pushed me over the edge to get one. So yeah, I love his stuff too. He does some really nice quilts as well. And I really am envious of whatever his computer setup is, but I know he uses a Mac. So he may have had an influence on me that way too.
Well, I had sort of an influence on you too, because we always didn't. You got the first.
We
were always PC people, so and I mean that was part of it. Was when I worked in the industry, I was always working on PCs in the industry, and we never really did Macs. So, I in the work that I did, and so I just when I retired, I just sort of thought. And the new Macs came out, I thought, well, I want to give it a try just to see. So I bought a more inexpensive version of a Mac. So I bought the Mac Mini, and I like it.
Yeah.
So,
and that's really what pushed me over the edge as well. Well, there were two reasons why I wanted a Mac. Well, actually three. I've always kind of wanted a Mac way back when they first came out, but the school system used PCs, and I had to be compatible with the way the school system has, so I stayed away from the Macs. And then when I got into making more videos and things like that, editing on a PC is not easy, and the stuff that you have to buy for it is kind of pricey, and I tend to be cheap, although you'd never know with the way I've been spending money lately.
Mhm.
But and then of course I got an iPad, and I love my iPad, and I love my iPhone when we got that, and I love my iWatch. And when he got the Mac, I decided, they're supposed to be better for editing videos and stuff like that. And I just figured, let's break out of this PC. And Windows is a pain in the ass. I've got Windows 11 on my system, and every time they come out with a new version of Windows, there are definite growing pains with it. And with the Mac, I hesitated a little bit because it's a different operating system. But, and I have heard that people who are PC users and they go to a Mac, they get frustrated with it because Macs are supposedly idiot proof. But when I saw that he could use it, I figured that.
Well, no, it's
not idiot
I
proof.
thought that I wouldn't have any control on the Mac. That
You are a control freak, yeah.
that if I wanted to do something special, I wouldn't be able to do it, and I haven't had that issue with it. So but see, I had forgotten. I worked in software design, and I had forgotten that the Mac is based on Unix, whereas the Windows platform is based on MS-DOS. And I have worked with Unix when I was in the industry, so it's not really that foreign to me.
So I will have growing pains, and I'm definitely not going to retire my PC. It's just going to go to a new location for now. And yeah, but I am looking forward to getting it. And you got to keep your mind going. And one thing about computer technology is it keeps your mind going. Could be frustrating at times, but
yeah,
it keeps your mind going.
I'm not working anymore, but I thought, like I'd like to learn something new. So I'm learning something new.
So that's why I have gotten it. But yes, I have to say that I was influenced too by Chip on that. Actually, the little switch box that I have down here that you can't see, this little thing right here, the Elgato, this is the thing that switches my screens around. Actually, I heard about this from the Fiber Hustle guys, from Chip. He has one as well, so I bought one. It's all about Chip. Actually, I have thought about interviewing Chip.
Yeah,
too. I need to send him an email and do that. There were two people I wanted to interview, but one is, I don't know if you've seen a show, I did review it on Idiot Quilter, called The Guy That Sews. He has a YouTube channel as well, and I sent him an email about, told him who I was and that I would love to interview him and everything, because I really like to interview male quilters as well, because there's not as many of us out there. It's growing though all the time, so give equal time. And I didn't hear back from him, and I think I sent him a second email a little bit on later, and he did send me one, and he said, yeah, he'd like to do that. And so I said, okay, give me when you're available and things like that. And I haven't heard from him since. So, and that young fellow, the 16-year-old guy who does wonderful long arm quilting, Tucker, yeah. Tucker Sewing and Quilting. I reviewed his YouTube channel too a week or so ago. Do check him out. You'll be blown away if you're a quilter at what he does with it. I sent him a message. I never heard back from him. Maybe he just thinks I'm an old pervert and whatever.
Well, maybe you are.
Well, enough about my hobbies. Well, if I'm an old pervert, you're even worse. But anyways,
you're older than me.
But I'll have to send Chip a message and see if he would do an interview with me, because he would be a fascinating interview, I think, for sure. So Brenda says, I got the baby AccuCut as a bonus with a sewing machine. Love the 2.5-inch strip. Yeah, I definitely ordered that die too. And Eddie says, Stephen, don't sign up for AccuQuilt emails. We'll get 5 a day. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me about that. Brenda says hers cranks. Oh, how primitive. I have
Yeah,
the
you
Go
got a
Baby.
choice with getting the automatic one or the one that cranks.
Yeah,
The one that cranks a little cheaper. So.
Yeah, Patsy says I have the Go Baby. I can't afford the dies. Yeah, the dies are extremely expensive.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, you know, I think the company that makes Acu Quilt is Sizzix. Sizzix makes different and have for years different die cutting machines. The dies you use as a paper crafter are they're pricey, but nowhere near as pricey as the AccuQuilt ones. And guess what? It's the same technology. It is a cutout with a blade in the outline. That's how they work. And why they charge what they charge, well, because it's a niche, I guess. And they can get away with it. People obviously will pay for that to get it. But really, I don't believe there's any reason why the markup's got to be incredible. Must be incredible on them. Jan says, I'm having fun shopping vicariously through you guys. Well, it's a service. We don't charge.
Yeah, you make us think that we're rich, but
we're not rich. No. Okay, I'm missing something here. Yes, Barb says, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Yes, people, let's see those likes. There's only 17 on here, and there's 68 of you concurrently viewing and whatnot. Come on, I want to see 68 likes.
Jeannie said, she likes her AccuQuilt, but you really have to focus on the lengthwise grain as you send it through the machine.
Oh, do you? Okay, that's good to know. I guess I'll have a bit of a learning curve. Things are going by here fast. Susan says that's because Kate is the real deal. Yeah, she is. She is exactly in real life what she's like on her YouTube videos. Eddie says, Walter, do you have to grease Steven's head to get it through the doorway with all this newfound fame? You're a bitch, Eddie. Yeah, I do mean that. Uh-huh. And I know for you, that's a badge of courage.
Your channels and Kate, I get no work done. Well, it's a good way to procrastinate.
Yeah,
right?
it's true. Well, housework, it's, get a slave. Ooh, who's this? Scrunchions. I found you because I saw your interview with, Chandra. Counts. Great interview. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Chandra's another person I follow regularly too. I love Chandra's, very practical way of how she buys her fabrics, and the way she can stretch a buck on buying quality stuff. And Susan says, Chip's a friend of mine. Susan, can you put in a word for me? Like, I don't want to use you, but I do want to use you. Marilyn says, hello, Eric. Late to the Marilyn, you've been told before about not being late to the party. We will whip you virtually. Sue says, I'm Miss Mrs. Kravitz. Oh, yes. Okay. I when I watch it, I hear him talk about Mrs. Kravitz all the time. So you're the Kravitz. Oh, okay. Okay, Mrs. Kravitz. Tell him I want to interview him. I will send him out an email next week. Glenda says she's happy she bought an AccuQuilt. You will love it. I knew you would like the gnome dies. Yeah, as soon as I saw the gnome die, I had to have it, and it was on sale, so that was good.
Yeah, most of the stuff that he bought was on sale, 30% off or whatever. So.
Oh, look who else is late. Oh, Fidel. Oh, am I surprised, Fidel, that you're late? Am I surprised? Can you see the surprise on my face? No. I'm not going to tell you I'm joking, Fidel. I'm not. I'm very disgusted with you. Yes, I am. Never mind. You figured it. Okay. So, what else are we talking about here? Oh, speaking of Jeannie and Kate. So, Kate very graciously, I didn't ask her to do this, but we have prizes at the retreat. And Kate volunteered to offer a prize, which I thought was wonderful. It was so nice of her to do that. And I was so happy that Jeannie won it. Jeannie, if you don't know, is my sister from another mother. She and speaking of, where is Andy? I don't see Andy today. Probably walking the dog. That's Jeannie's sister. But Jeannie and Andy are both wonderful people. Love them a lot. We've never met face to face, but they come to the Craft and Chat usually. And Jeannie's always here, and Andy's usually here too on the live as well. But I was so thrilled that it was Jeannie who won the prize. It was great. Oh, Fidel, you stop making excuses. Yeah, no,
2 hours.
get a watch, really. So I want to show you what she won, and I'm jelly. Not some. I've never used that expression before, and that's two guys that do a knitting thing that I watch. And one says jelly for jealous. So let me just find the picture here. Oh, here we go, and get that up. And then we'll switch it over so you can all see it. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Okay, so this is one of the prizes. Kate designed. Actually, I think her
daughter drew the
pictures. Yeah, I was going to say it was a
pictures
daughter or daughter-in-law. I think it was her daughter's that's the artist. She did all the pictures on this, and it's a tea towel. And beside it is the apron with her little goose logo. And her goose is, what does she call her goose? She does have a goose. If you've never seen The Last Homely House, she does have chickens. She does have a goose. And I forget the name of the goose. And the best part is she has cats, which usually make an appearance in most of her videos. She's also a beekeeper. That's what's on there. So everything you see on this tea towel represents Kate's life in many ways. And I guess the idea too is you can embroider on this and fill in the stuff if you're a hand embroiderer or whatever, or I suppose you could use some of those like fabric markers or something and color it in as well. So those two things are really cool. And she got some of Kate's postcards or cards, I guess they are, and Kate takes these pictures herself, or her I think it's her daughter-in-law, I think, is a real great photographer and takes a lot of these really great pictures as well. So yeah, that I was really happy for you, Jeannie, that you won this. And I would have liked to have won it, but I couldn't. It was kind of be a conflict of interest, wouldn't it, if I had done that? So yeah, so thanks, Jeannie, for sending me the pictures of that as well. And oh, Andy, she is here. There's Andy. And Jeannie says, we feel the same way about you and Walter. Someday we're gonna meet up in person. Someday. Peace Spellmaker. Hello, I found you from the Kate interview. See everybody, the Kate interview. Well, welcome.
Welcome.
Oh, that's it. Eileen is the name of the goose. Yeah. With it. So yeah. And I love Rita the cat was featured in the interview. If you haven't seen the interview yet, her cat, she no longer has Norma. That was her oldest kitty. And Norma, I just love Norma. Well, I love cats, but Norma was such a sweetheart. And now I guess Rita is taking over the place of Norma. Well, you're welcome, Jeannie. Oh, Flores. Hello, Flores. I think I'm saying your name right. Found you on the Kate interview. See, everybody found us on the Kate interview, which is great. I mean, and I think Kate, I sent Kate an email telling her about this phenomena that's happening here. And I think she's gotten some new subscribers to her YouTube channel as well from it all. So it works out mutual. Who would have known? I didn't think that was a possibility. I didn't do it for that. I was just happy to have Kate. I was a fanboy. So
yeah, actually, we are both fanboys. We both like her videos.
We watch her all the time with it. Just love her. So there is something coming up, though, speaking of retreats, Craft and Chat. This is advance notice. For those of you that may be new to my channel here, to our channel, the first Wednesday of every month, we have something we call Craft and Chat. It is a Zoom meeting. I usually post the links. Well, not usually. I always post the links for the Zoom in the show notes for all of my videos about a week before. In fact, you will see one of those that listing in the show notes for today. After this goes to rebroadcast, it'll be there as well. It is on April the 6th. That's the first Wednesday of the month. Starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and runs until about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Sorry for those of you that have jobs and aren't retired like we are with it all, but I have something for you as well. But anyways, we're growing in numbers, the regulars. We're not a huge group. I think we had the most last time. I think we were at about 16 at the height of it. And we just get together and work on whatever we want to work on. It does not have to be quilting, and it does not have to be sewing. It can be knitting, crocheting, paper crafts, painting, art journaling, scrapbooking, whatever. It doesn't matter. We just get together, we work on what we work on, and we have casual conversation. No drama. We do not talk about politics. We do not talk about COVID.
Well, occasionally it comes
Well,
up.
it does come up, but we don't get into it very far. And everybody that's on there knows that as well. It's just to share our ideas, our thoughts, show what we're working on if we wish to.
I mean, it's a great place, even
even Walter likes it.
Yeah, no, like it's a great place to see other ideas of what other people are working on.
Yeah.
Even if it's not sewing, you can. Some of the people work on crafting stuff, and it's interesting to see what other people work on. So and gives people more ideas.
Yeah, and more ideas. And somebody always has a question about something or other, and they draw from the pool. I mean, everybody has, different levels of expertise, and we draw on that as well. So feel free to join us. It costs you nothing. And as I said, the links are in the show notes for everything.
And geez,
below.
my shirts wouldn't get done if we didn't have them.
Yeah. And I get a lot of stuff done as well. It's great for that. It's just fun. And having said that about it as well, for those of you that can't make it but really would like to, I've only done one so far, but I'm planning to do another one sometime very near future. I do a weekend, a Sunday. Well, actually, I've been doing it on a Saturday pop-up sew day. I actually changed the name thanks to, I think Jeannie made the suggestion. It was either Jeannie or Andy. Somebody did. I'm not going to call it pop-up sew day. I'm going to call it a pop-up craft day. Or maybe I'll just call it pop-up craft and chat as well. You'll never know when those are going to be because I don't know. But I will give you 24 hours warning. And what I'm due for that is I put up a very short little 1-minute video on my channel telling you we're doing a pop-up craft day, and it's tomorrow, and it's starting at, usually I start about 9 o'clock in the morning or a little earlier. Depends on whether I'm up, and I'm usually up early. And it goes on for the whole day. Unless I get bored with you and then I shut it down. No. And you can come and go as you please with that. Again, it's just very casual, whatever. So I've only had one so far. Can't do one next weekend because we're on a retreat. Talk more about that in a second. The weekend after that, I can't do it because I'm on another virtual retreat through my Quilters Guild that I belong to, the Quilters Way, which is a paid membership site they belong to. So we'll see. And actually the weekend after that is Thanksgiving, or not Thanksgiving, Easter. So I'm not sure how many people, so it might be a while before I do another one, but just advance notice. Also, I have a mailing list for Craft and Chat, and I am one for the pop-up sew days, and also one for my retreat. I run the retreat. It's a free retreat. It runs for on a Saturday. I run one in the spring. We've just had that a couple of weeks ago, and I'll run one in the early fall again. And that's one that's a little bit more elaborate because usually we get, 50, 60, 70 people on that. It's absolutely free. There are prizes. I line up some guest speakers as well. And everybody seems to like it. Seems to be a good time had by all. That's what Kate was on, actually, when I interviewed her. So if you want to be on any of those mailing lists, just my email address is in the show notes below this. You can send me an email just saying, put me on whichever mailing list or on all the mailing lists or whatever, and I will. Don't worry, I don't send you out any other kind of emails. Only when those events are going to happen, I use them just for that. Okay, so nothing else. Nobody else has access to that. It's all kept private. So yeah, so there's a plug for that. Glennis says, oh wait, I'm backing up here. There's been lots of stuff going on. Oh, sit in it. Yeah. Arn and Carlos sit in it for a bit, but live. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a similar idea to that. Except I'm not Arn or Carlos, so it's still different. Glennis says,
the one nice thing about, I don't know about Arn and Carl, how Arn and Carlos do it. I think it's
theirs is geared towards knitters.
Yeah, but it's just showing each other, right? Like them doing a live show, whereas this is a Zoom, and everybody can interact with each other.
Yeah.
On it, so you know you can talk to other people and not just us. So.
And you can see other people as well, unless you turn off your camera or whatever, which is perfectly your option. Although I don't like it when people do that because it's like they've got something to hide. I don't know about that.
They're sitting in the nude.
Yeah, maybe they're sitting in the nude, or they haven't got their face on yet, or whatever. Their hair's a mess. Glennis says, look into the AccuQuilt cube system. Yep. Bought one.
He bought an 8-inch.
An 8-inch.
Yeah, about an 8-inch block.
Yeah. AccuQuilt has awesome videos. I haven't checked those out. I'll have to look at that. Jeannie says you deserve it. Jeannie, you deserve it. I just watched your interview with Steven. Okay. Yes, I did interview Jeannie, and I interviewed Andy as well. There's a few of you on here that I have interviewed as well. And if anybody else wants to be interviewed, I'm not looking for experts. I'm not looking for people that are big names or that kind of thing.
It's reality TV.
It's reality. And I promise I don't bite, and I'll make you look really good. And if you have never had your 15 minutes of fame, I'm trying to give it to you. Okay? So it's non-threatening. I send you the questions in advance so you can prepare yourself. We can deviate from the questions. It's very relaxed. Jeannie will tell you that. Andy can tell you that. The whole bit. So, yeah. If you want to, don't be shy. Just send me an email. We'll set it up. No problem. Flora says, I like Jordan Fabrics. She has great quilting videos, and we have a fabric store in Oregon. Yeah, I love Jordan Fabrics too. I watch Donna Jordan all the time. And in fact, today her name came up in the men's quilt thing, and they were all kind of discussing her nails. I think you know what kind of men I'm talking about on this, don't you? Hint, hint. Oh, Eddie says he just watched the interview I did with Jeannie. Glennis says, okay, we said that. Laura says she would love to come to the pop-up craft and chat, as I'm not retired, long way to go. Yep. Well, that's why I provide it. But like I said, it'll be a few weeks before the next one, but watch this space. Oh, Fidel says, did you get the robotics for Lucy? Not yet. They told me it'd be 8 weeks. It'll be 8 weeks, April the 11th. So I'm patient. I can wait. I just hope they don't call me up next week and say it's coming on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or the weekend of this week, because I won't be home. And that's what we're going to talk about next. So, yes, this Thursday we leave for the Ultimate Sewing, which is the name of the quilt store that we shop at all the time, their retreat. And that's what we're making the costumes for, because we're the program people, facilitators. We're the entertainment, the hired help. And we've been working madly on all kinds of things for this. So we're all ready to go. I'm looking forward to this, because we haven't been to an in-person retreat since before COVID, of course. And we're still taking precautions at this one, as is the facility and everything. So it's, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and half a Sunday. After lunch Sunday, we come home. So while I'm speaking of that, I think there will be a Stephen and Walter live next week. Yes, we should be home in plenty of time to be able to do that. But if for some reason we're not on, you'll know why. It isn't because we've dropped off the face of the earth. It's just simply because we didn't get home in time. But I think we will be. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to, well, that whole show will be dedicated to talking about our experiences over those days. And I'm sure there will be quite a lot of things to tell you. And I hope to have lots of pictures and maybe even some video clips that I can show you at the same time as well. Of course, I have to have the permission of the ladies to do that, but I did it the last time and they didn't have any problem with it. So I don't anticipate that there'll be any problem. And if somebody doesn't want to be in a video or have their picture taken or whatever for this, that's fine. I'll bypass them. They don't have to be in it, so that's okay. I will respect their sense of privacy. But it should be a lot of fun. And we're getting all our stuff together for it. We take everything except the kitchen sink. And if you saw this week's So Chatty, we talked about that and why we take so much stuff. And we have to get it all into the back of Walter's car. Good thing is back seats fold down. Gives us more room because we're taking a lot of crap with this as well. So that's coming up and it should be a lot of fun. Oh, and so for sure, though, there won't be a So Chatty next Friday because we'll be at the retreat. Unless for somehow their internet service got better and we do live from So Chatty on location. That would be fun. But I have a feeling that's not going to work. So whatever. So what else is new? Well, I have merch. Now, when I say I have merch, not for you.
Not for sale.
Not for sale. Sorry. Because I don't have the facility to put these things up for sales if you'd really want to buy them anyways. But I want to show you the picture of them. Of course, there's something else that I bought. So let's go to... there it is. Let's get it on the screen. Okay. So there is a company that I have dealt with before. They're primarily known for making business cards. They're an online service. I think they're actually based out of the Netherlands, which I only learned recently. But they're online. They're called Vistaprint. And you can design a business card for yourself on there and use your own logo and the whole bit. It's very easy to use. And their prices are pretty reasonable for business cards. And they often run a sale where you can get like something like a 500 business cards for $9.99 and free shipping and stuff like that. And I have ordered things like that from them in the past. Well, they have expanded over the years, and now they are a company that will put your logo on anything. They have all kinds of things to pick from. So I had been thinking about this, and so I finally decided they had a sale, 40% off your entire order. So I decided to do some ordering. So you can see here what I ordered. I ordered some coffee mugs, 4 of them. Now, the more you order of an individual item, the cheaper the price gets, because the coffee mugs are not really a great price. If you bought one, it would cost you almost $20 for a mug. I bought 4, and that dropped the price down a little bit. So 4 coffee mugs cost me $41 Canadian. For that. So that's a little on the pricey side for a coffee mug, but I wanted them, so I got them. So Walter has one now, and I have one, and well, I have 3 more. But we're taking those to the retreat with us. You can see I had a tote bag with my logo on it as well. I bought 2 of those. They were pretty inexpensive. I think they were under $10 a piece. They're canvas. They're not huge, but they're not bad, and they're well constructed. And so I gave one of those to Walter as well. And then I bought 10 pens. The pens were like $1 on sale, $1.79 a piece. And so I bought 10 of them. I'm not as pleased with the pens. Their quality in terms of, I don't know where I put the one I had out here, somewhere. Their quality in writing is not the best. Although I think after I got using it, though, I got a little used to it, and the ink seemed to flow a little better. So I guess it might just have to be worked in. But anyways, it's merch. I've branded myself now on here. But as I said, they're not available. I'm just teasing you with this kind of stuff. Maybe someday I can figure out a way to sell things online. Well, I know I could do it, but yeah, I don't know if I want to go into that kind of thing, because when things become a business, they're not a lot of fun anymore, right? So what are people saying? Um, oh yes, Barb says another male quilter is off kilter crafter Ian. Yes, he's gone pretty much his videos now. He used to do all kinds of card making and things like that, and I watched him for quite a while. I have to admit, I don't watch him very often now. Um, but he has the potential to, uh, as a someone that I could interview as well. Um, so what else do we have here? What are we doing for time? Well, we're getting close to end of time here. So, the other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about, though, is retreat etiquette. And the reason is, I got a nasty comment from our So Chatty the other day. And you know what I do with nasty comments. Constructive criticism are fine. Nasty comments get deleted because I have the power of the delete key. And I guess we talked about, we were doing a little follow-up on our episode about ugly fabric. And one of my regular viewers sent me a picture of what she considered to be ugly fabric, and it was. But it was a sort of a novelty fabric, and it had all these ladies in caricature, and I think they were supposed to be at a quilting bee kind of a thing. But I made the comment that, well, who wants fabric with a bunch of little old biddies on it, kind of a thing, right? Well, this person took offense to that comment and let me know so. She said, I have a problem with your moral standing on old biddies. I'm an old biddy and I find that very offensive. Now, my first reaction was to say, you may be an old biddy, but you're also an old bitch. But I didn't say that. I just deleted her because I figured, get over it. I'm a grumpy old man. So what? You know, big deal.
I mean, yeah, we end up saying things. Sometimes we're human. We say things that some people might not like.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing of that fabric I noticed was a lot of the women were heavy set on those.
Yeah, really.
It always looked like, all quilters are heavy set women.
Yeah, so really, the fabric's kind of offensive if you want to take it that far. But you got to have a sense of humor. When I said that comment, I wasn't saying it in a derogatory way. At least that wasn't my tone. It was just a joke. It looks like a bunch of little old biddies on there. Okay.
Or little old ladies.
Or little old ladies, whatever. No, I said biddies.
Yeah.
I did use biddies. Big deal. So what? It wasn't like I said something, I could have said something a heck of a lot more horrendous. I didn't with it. Yes, I do tend to have a very light filter. I do. I don't want to say I don't have any filter. I do. I do have a filter. But yeah, am I politically correct? God, no. I had to be politically correct for 31 years of my life as a teacher. I'm over that now. You get what you get. That's why I don't edit. But I did delete the comment because,
Jeannie, you're not an old biddy.
You're not an old biddy. Actually, we're older people.
You can call us grumpy old men.
You can call us grumpy old men, like whatever. I recognize the fact that I am an older man. It's life. I'd rather be an older man than dead. So, there's the alternatives. But anyways, I just deleted her.
Tiffany's Quilting Life.
Hi, Jackie. You might want to interview Tiffany's Quilting Life. She has MS and quilting is her therapy. Actually, I have watched her. I haven't watched her much as well, but yeah, that's another one. The only thing I'm trying to stay a little bit away from is interviewing people who have extremely popular YouTube channels for a couple of reasons. One, I figure people already know what those people are all about if they watch them regularly. Two, I like to promote people who are just getting started in YouTube with something as well. Like the guy who sews, he doesn't have a huge subscription base yet.
Well, neither do you.
Well, next to him, I have millions. But, you know, the idea is like to promote him or promote that kind of thing. I'm not saying that it isn't interesting to interview these other people that are famous, but the other problem too is I have is some of these people who are stars of the internet don't acknowledge the fact that I've asked them to be interviewed.
Yeah.
They
get probably so many requests.
Yeah, and that kind of thing.
That they don't.
So, you know.
I mean, that's why we were really surprised that Kate would do it.
Like, so, you know, but, you know, whatever. So, but yeah.
But, you know, by interviewing somebody that doesn't have a huge following, the one thing that you get is somebody that's a real person.
Yeah.
It's basically, what is it? Real TV or whatever.
Real life. Well, I want to interview the average person because there are so many gurus in crafting, quilting, knitting, sewing, everything on the internet. You know, what about, there's a lot more of us, and I consider myself in this category, that are just ordinary people. We don't give seminars. We aren't going to quilt stores and doing classes for people and getting paid for it. We're not asked by quilting guilds or crafting groups or whatever to come and speak and things like that. But we all have something to offer. So I'm just offering a platform, an opportunity for these people to, you know, share their journey in their art world of what they do. So that's what I'm all about when I do the interviews. Laura says, well, some people offend easily. Oh, yeah, but that's one of the things about being a content creator on YouTube. You will always get the crap.
You always get somebody that doesn't like something you're going to say.
You can't please all the people all the time. You know how the saying goes. And I don't mind constructive criticism. But when it's a comment like that, then you're wasting my time. You're wasting the time people might take to read other people's comments. If you're not contributing to it, there's a problem in your life, okay? And I'm sorry, I don't do therapy. I'm not Dr. Phil, okay? Which I don't like anyways, but that's a story for another day. Eddie says, kudos, Stephen Walter, never changed. I love your take on life. Well, thank you, Eddie. Eddie is been paid for this endorsement. I just want you to know, yeah. And Barb says, that's why I recommend him. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I will reach out to him as well because, you know, he's an interesting person. So, yeah, I'm always interested. Oh, Walter, you're so naughty. You don't know the half of it. So, anyways, one thing I want to, just before we go off here and ask you is, what do you want to talk about? What do you want us to talk about and engage you with here on Stephen and Walter Live? We'd like some more input. And some of you do give us input, but we want even more. This is where we get our ideas. And this goes for any of the videos that I put up every week. If you've got ideas, don't be shy to, you know, express them to us because we get some of the best things that we've done on here or on So Chatty or even on the Idiot Quilter have been from people's suggestions, like the ugly fabric one. Never thought about it. I think it was Eddie who came up with that idea, that suggestion for us. Want to know, what do you do with ugly fabric?
Eddie says, I can do an interview on how I take $150 worth of fabric and turn it into a
quote worth $4. Hey, Eddie, you want to be interviewed? Yeah, Eddie. Yeah, seriously. I'd love to interview you. Yeah, so think about it. Oh, thanks, Jackie. She really enjoyed the interview with Kate. Yep, I've heard that from a lot of people. It was fun. It was nice to do it. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. That's our time today. So thank you everybody for joining us, and thank you to all the newbies out there. I hope you'll come back. I hope we haven't scared you off, bored you to tears, or made you feel that we're a couple of arrogant assholes.
Or just a couple of idiots.
Yeah, either way, we could be either one. I don't know.
We are grumpy old men, though.
We can be grumpy old men. Yeah, usually to each other, but whatever. Okay, so I hope everybody has a great week. As I said, there won't be a So Chatty this week. There will be an Idiot Quilter. There will be a vlog on Monday and Tuesday, and there probably will be a Stephen and Walter live next week, because I'm pretty sure we'll be home in plenty of time, and we'll be featuring what we did at the retreat and everything like that. So hope you all come back, and see you soon. So have a good one, everybody. See you later. Say goodbye, Walter.
Bye-bye.